Before I think I explained like this project importer, like I would like to touch a little bit upon the mapping file. So the external project importer works based on a mapping file. Okay, here we can specify the mapping file, and I will try to choose a mapping file here. Here I have a mapping file. I'll first open this file with Notepad++ and walk you through the format of the mapping file. So here each line of a mapping file represent one project entry. That means the importer can understand one complete line as a one project can be imported, and this as a format that first part of this line before this colon is a name. The second part is its path. It's a absolute path. Here git is a variable which I have defined already, and the remaining is the path relative to the git location. Okay, and this also has, after this CC, we can also introduce our own dependencies for this project. In this example, I don't have, but user can introduce. I will walk you through the documentation and show how it is. And this has a concept of conditional dependencies. That means like if we have some pattern here, like for example, if I take an example of line number 3, and here I have POS dot star, which is a pattern. So if we have this regex pattern, what happens is if we import any project which starts with POS name, then this particular project will be automatically imported into workspace and it will be added into a new working set. Okay. So for example, in this case, as I said, POS, here we have a lot of like, here we have 3 projects which starts with the POS name. This POS machine core, this core UI and docs. So I'll demonstrate like how it will get imported. That's all about the mapping file, like how we can create this mapping file. Now I'll go back to the tool and try to import it. Yes, I'm choosing this mapping file here. Okay. Now I will apply and close. On apply, we can see all the projects which are defined there are shown here. Okay. So one more thing what I would like to show is, what I would like to inform is, whatever the conditional dependencies we define in the mapping file will not be shown in this table. Only non-conditional, like normal project declarations will be shown here. Okay, so now I will start importing, like how grouping will be created. I will try to demonstrate how grouping will be created. Grouping will be created basically based on the core and its dependencies. For example, if I try to import these 3 projects, NFC Access Core, Core UI, and Core Docs, these 3 will be grouped under NFC Access Core working set name and its dependency. I'll go back to the mapping file to identify what is this conditional dependency. The NFC dot star will have NFC access libs as a conditional dependency. What does that mean is, if I import these 3 projects, these 3 projects will be grouped in NFC access core working set and its dependency under its dependencies working set. I will select now these 3 and try to import it. Yes, now we can see the NFC access libs also got imported, which is not shown here in this table because it's a conditional dependency. Of course, it got imported because it is there in the it is defined in the mapping file. So now I will try to select the working set which are newly created. As I said, NFC access core is the name of the core working set, which will contain 3 core projects which I have selected in the table and its dependencies. So I'll select both, click OK. Now I'll select top level working set as a working set. Top level element is a working set. Okay. Now, as I said, I can you can see here NFC access code. The name of the first project we have selected has the name to the working set. So this is a assumption that usually while importing we will group the project. We will create and even group with the common name for a particular module. So that is the assumption we have made here, and based on that, if we try to import a particular module, all the projects under that module will go to a one particular working set, and its dependencies will go into its dependencies working set. This is about the dependencies which are present in the mapping file. Okay. Also, this imports the dependencies which are present in the project references. For example, for POS module, for POS module, POS machine core module, I have two dependencies which are like common utilities and print module utilities. These are like a generic libraries which we have defined in POS for POS machine. So if I try to import these three now, POS machine core, as I mentioned already, the working set name will be picked from the first project what we are choosing. In this case, POS core UI is the name of the working set that will be get created, and it will import its project references, print module utilities, and common utilities. Also, as per the mapping file, it will import its conditional dependency as well. So what is its conditional dependency? As it starts with POS, its conditional dependency is transaction server access lists. Okay, so now I'll go ahead and import this. As a top level element is working set, all the projects are now under other projects because I'm yet to select the newly created working set. So I will go to working set, select working set, and as I said, we can see two new working sets got created, POS core UI and its dependency. I'll select both of them. Yes, now we can see POS core UI has POS core UI, docs, and POS machine core, three projects which I selected manually in this, and its dependencies, common utilities and print module utilities. As I said, these two are not defined here as a dependencies for this POS machine module. Only transaction server access list was the conditional dependency that is imported, and these two are defined as a project reference in the third project file. Okay, maybe I have defined here for this core UI. Yes, we can see. Yeah, for POS core UI, I have defined common utilities and print module utilities as a project references. So this is the second type of dependencies. It also works. So at the same time, it looks for both the dependencies, and also it searches for the dependencies recursively. That means if you have any dependency on common utilities, those also gets imported. Okay. And finally, I have some more projects left like EMB core access. In this case, like for example, as I said, if we want to import only one project, only that will go into its own working set. Later, if you want to import some other projects from the same module, obviously it will create a new working set. That's why we have to sensibly choose while importing the group of projects, so that it will create its own working set and its dependencies accordingly. For example, just to show that, I want to import only this EMV access core, right? If I import this, this will create one working set for a single project alone with this name, and its conditional dependency. What is that for EMV? EMV, it is a EMV chip reader list, which is not there imported. Okay. So I'll select this, and also we can double click and import. Just select it and double click. Yes, it got imported we can see here UMB access core and EMB chip reader libs also important as it's a conditional dependency. And of course, if we can go and see in the working set, two new working set should have created. Yeah, here they are. Okay. Yes. And if I import these two again, of course, these also have the CMB chip reader libs as a conditional dependency. It will not create a new working set, or it will not try to re-import again because it's already there. It will just keep it and it will be there as it is. But for these two, it will create a new working set. I will try to import these two. Yeah. So here they are present currently in other projects. So I will select the working set which is newly created. There should be only one. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Two newly imported projects are under EMB core.